I want to tell you the story of Racing Unleashed, where I'm CEO of. Why do we even exist? What is our plan? What is our vision? We want to talk to motorsport enthusiasts around the globe and give them what they desired but never got. Motorsports is unlike every other sport. It is the most elitist, expensive, unreachable sport in the world. Looking at the pinnacle of motorsports, the Formula One, there is no other sport in the world that can make billions of dollars in revenues with just 20 athletes. There is no other sport that has over 500 million fans just for 20 racers. F1 racers are stars, they are heroes, they are rich, but there is no sport like motorsport more difficult to enter and to play. If you take that sport seriously, as a youngster, you spend 100 to 150,000 euros for a karting season at your young age between 5 and 7 years. So if your parents are not rich, you might not even get to start, even if you would have the talent or the dream to become a pro racer. Getting to the next level, GT4, GT3, etc., we are talking about 300,000 euros plus. Continuing, it gets easily into the millions. If you compare that with another sports like soccer, European football, you buy a ball for $20, next day you're a soccer player. So every fan gets to experience what it's like to play football. The only experience the poor F1 fan gets, watching a race on TV with a beer in one hand, a pack of chips on the other hand. That's all you get. And still 500 million fans go for that. So how many people might be cricket fans or tennis fans on this planet, and how many people can drive a car? As we speak, there are 1.9 billion car drivers running the globe. If just 1 out of 1,000 would drive as a sport, from hobby to professional driver, we would talk about 1.9 million athletes. So Racing Unleashed is going to change the situation I just described drastically now. Using the most advanced simulation technologies in software and hardware, we want to create a global sports. We want to make sim racing a serious job, a profession that can feed your family. How do we do that? Today, sim racing is a nice niche gaming industry with roughly 50 million gamers globally, but you race mainly from your own PC, from your PlayStation, from your own sim rig at home. Nobody will pay you real money for winning here. You will hardly ever be able to live from that activity, and you might never become a world-renowned star. So to create a real sport, you have to compete in a control environment with the governance supervising the fairness and the rules of the game. We have created exactly that environment, that infrastructure in our racing lounges of Racing Unleashed. A racing lounge, you might have to imagine, is a location with 10 to 50 professional full motion simulators like the ones you will see here exposed. They are internationally interconnected, so they are not only connected in the lounge but across lounges, so international races can take place where, for example, racers can drive in our lounge in Madrid. Some racers may be sitting in Munich, some will race from London, and they meet on the virtual racetrack simultaneously and compete. Our goal is to expand our franchise to land in 150 global cities and organize races for thousands of racers, enthusiasts and motorsports fans. So to elevate sim racing from a hobby played out of your living room to an internationally respected sports, we all need to create a movement. So let's do this together. We cannot do that alone. Let's join that movement, support Racing Unleashed. Visit us in our lounges or simply contact us. And now let's fire up the engines. Go.
Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Racing Unleashed. It's been a long wait, but we are finally back with the return of the Assetto Corsa Championship. The in-house lobbies, the simulators in Madrid, Munich and Zurich are all prepped and ready to go. There we're seeing some pictures of Madrid and our fantastic version 2 simulators ready and rolled out for today's racing. A different lineup in store, not just for the drivers, but for here on the broadcast as well. We're bringing you the Racer League and the Challenger League live in one day, and it is going to be an action-packed day to say the least. A new qualifying format, the races still 30 minutes long, but the drivers eager to impress. The categories have changed. There is drivers returning, there is drivers who are back for the glory. Michael Smeedle is currently your defending Racer League champion, and he is out to take yet another championship to his name, but he's got some fresh faces like our Challenger League defending champion from 2023, Yannick Pletcher, and many more names across the board. Will it also be, though, Alejandro Sanchez's season? The Racer League guys will be coming up first and momentarily as well, because their new qualifying format will be there for today's race. And the new qualifying format is quite an interesting one. It is that of a one-lap quali. One formation, or one warm-up lap, one cool-down lap, and one hot lap. If you fail in that hot lap, it could be catastrophic in terms of your races. Now, this qualifying format is going to change race from race. So for Challenge 2, we're going to have a different format of the top 10 in the championship will be reversed in the qualifying. And then as for that, it will revert back to this one-lap qualifying shootout. And that is across both Racer League and Challenger League. So gone is the knockout qualifying of last year. It is all about today and this new format. There you see our brand new logos, appreciating the Racer League, the Challenge League and the Esports series, which will have more news to come if you follow us on social media. And they are the crucial dates to mark in your calendar for this fantastic series and this fantastic championship. Down to an 8-race championship, as we're aware, due to the new simulators being rolled out over the last couple of months and getting them installed and fitted into our racing lounges, making sure everything is working. The prize money on store there is an absolute beautiful one. The 2 columns on your left-hand side, it is 3,000 Swiss francs today if you are a race winner. And that puts you in good stead for if you win that championship. It is 10,000 for the Racer League drivers. It is 750 for the Challenger League drivers and 3,000 for the championship win. So a lot of prize money you can see there on offer for today's races, and of course throughout these 8 races throughout the season. If you want to try and take part here at Racing Unleashed, that is the place to do so. The Circle in the Zurich airport is one of the lounges. Then you've got the one in Munich and the one in Madrid as well to join us in, as well as a lounge in Kemptal, which I don't believe is being used today. I believe it is just the airport lounge and then the Madrid and Munich lounges for Switzerland and Spain and Germany there then, but drivers are all ready to go. It's been a long wait. If you've been watching the Racing Unleashed channel over the last couple of months, we haven't seen one since Challenge 3 way back in, I think it was May. In between that, we've had a lot of iRacing action and a lot of dramas happening over on that side of things. That makes a return next week, of course, as we enter into the final 4 races of the season. But the championship starts today. Gone are the 3 spring challenges. It is all go today. It is action stations, and it is going to be a fantastic one. I've got the driver lineup here next to me. The names on this list, we'll get into a few of them as we head into qualifying. There is a lot of names, a lot of familiar names, and this is going to be interesting. But the track we are at today, it is Barcelona, the Circuit de Catalunya, Barcelona, and it is the updated version without the chicane at the very end. A very tricky sector 1 and a very tricky sector 2 before that final sector that used to be so technical with them corners and track tightening and narrowing now becomes a little quicker, and you have to really set yourself up down the start straight, as you see here, into sector 1 and 2 there. Very good overtaking opportunity to be had down the straight, obviously with the usages of push to pass. Turns 1 and 2 is going to be a fantastic place to watch some great action. Turn 3, got to kind of slingshot yourself out of here as you come down towards turn 4. Track limits are going to be crucial, and drivers aren't going to be wanting to extend their entry into the corner before turn 4 then, as you come round 4 down in towards 5. A real difficult corner on this track, easy to get wrong and make a mistake on the exit, dropping a wheel or 2 into the gravel. 6, 7, 8 though are no easy corners themselves. They are just as challenging as you flick through 6 up to 7 and 8 into 9 then, where will be the second DRS zone in Formula 1. Again, easy to drop a wheel and push too hard on the outside and just go over them limits. Into what used to be the hairpin, it's now a longer sweeping left-hand corner that takes forever to get down on the throttle and pick up where you turn into the right-hander for entering the next part, where it used to be the chicane. It is now a quick right-hand corner into turn 14, and that final corner bringing you down that start straight. And where will the drivers use their push to pass? That is going to be key to see in this race this evening. But what a track, what a venue to start our season at. Couldn't think of many better ones, but this one is going to be an absolute brilliant sort of challenge for these drivers. Like we say, the Circuit de Catalunya, Barcelona. What a layout we have got in store. These, though, are the names that I have in front of me, and it is David Seed, Coque Lopez, making his return back since 2021 was the last time we saw Coque Lopez out there. He is now a Gran Turismo champion, hoping to add Racing Unleashed to his roster, to his accolades. Sorry, Marcus Valverde promoted. What a challenge for him. Alejandro Sanchez returns. Can he get that victory this season? Can he get it over the line? Enrique Marignon, Sebastian Hirsch, Wojciech Plesny, Nico Farland, another Challenger League driver who steps up into the big league this season. Defending champion Michael Smeedle. We all know what he can do. Angelo Mikel and Florian Harser, Sinan Demirbaş, with Mohamed Ramsey stepping up as well this season. Ciro Zambra, Christoph Holstein, and then 3 drivers from Switzerland making that jump up. Lorenzo Hayder, your champion of Challenge League last year, Yannick Pletcher, and Joshua Hayder. It is going to be fantastic to see what them 18 drivers can do out there today. Now, I'm looking at the names in front of me. There is only 17 on that list, so one of them drivers, I believe, is not here today, because I only have, oh no, sorry, apologies, one is the number 0 next to it, so all 18 are here. Sinan de Murbas messaged me earlier in the day. He is a little under the weather, so he's hoping to complete today's race. Hopefully he is there in the lounge and will be able to take part, because he was under the weather, he was saying earlier on, but he hopes to be there for this race. What a lineup of drivers that is. 18 drivers on that list as we are getting ready now to turn into the qualifying session and to figure out what one-lap pace these drivers have, because it's going to be absolutely crucial if we see a driver, you know, extend them track limits, just run a little wide, make that one mistake, it's game over. You're at the back of the grid. And also going forward with this one-lap qualifying process is an interesting thing. So this is going to make a return in Challenge 3. What is going to happen is, if the championship leader makes a mistake and 2 other cars make a mistake and all 3 invalidate their lap, the championship leader would start last. It would be reversed in the championship order. So that makes it very interesting there as well to see who is going to do what in this format, and it really is exciting to see this different format play out and see this different format take shape across this championship this season. We're ready. We hope you guys are ready at home as well. It is going to be a fantastic day of action. Here is then the young man from Germany, Nico Forland, making that step up into the Racer League. And here he is in the qualifying session, just getting himself ready, I do believe. Making sure that he can get everything done. There we have the timing screen on the side. There's a full bit of lock on there. Now, these drivers are in the new simulators. I was lucky enough last year to have a go in one of the version 2s that was rolled out in the Zurich Airport Lounge. And they are a lot different. Not only is the mechanics of the simulator different, the way, you know, it's a lot quieter, so that's already one thing that drivers are going to find different. It also moves a lot more, the motion sensor of the simulator, and you'll be able to see here, look how different it also looks, a bit wider on the nose, and you can just see how much more now the camber of corners will affect this simulator and will make it move a little bit more and sing and dance. The other thing is the steering wheel. My, is that one of the bigger changes this season. We have got the ability now, the gear changes on the steering wheel, a lot better for these drivers. They could now potentially have some cracking races. Nico Forland then starts his flying lap. The other thing to keep your eye out for as well is look out if drivers have got a different livery on their car. We're seeing Nico Forland here. He's running the default livery of that of Racing Unleashed, but drivers have been able this season to have the availability to create their own livery and put it onto the car, so we could see some fantastic designs out there on the car. Though up the hill comes Nico Forland now in towards the middle sector, flicks it through the right-hander, nicely done. Not too much curb on the exit there, didn't want to get too greedy coming through the corner. He knows this is his one shot, flicks it now through to the long left-hander, middle of the road, tucks it back into the apex at the very end. This is where it can be won or lost through these set of corners here. Really could, as Michael Smeedle tops the timing screens at the moment. It looks like here comes Nico Forland, then currently on a 1:07, down towards the final corner. What's he going to do as he comes towards the line, and who is going to be on that provisional pole? Nico Forland there with a 1:15.5. That puts him in P8 at the moment. And drivers are doing this all on their own, so they cannot see the other competitors out there at the moment. But the timing screen showing you that Michael Smeedle with a 1:14.4, and he is only 0.02 of a second quicker than Alejandro Sanchez at the minute. Coque Lopez manages to move up to P5. Here's David Seed coming to the line, only good enough for 13th place. And Lorenzo Hayder yet to get a lap time on the board as Wojciech Polesny slingshots himself up into P3. And also just looking at Enrique Marignon's time, a little off the pace. Here comes Marcus Valverde then, who obviously I believe now are on the cool down lap, so their times are done, and that will be their qualifying for this session. But the drivers still pushing on. I believe that was one of the liveries there you saw on Marcus Valverde's car in store there. You could see the nice red livery then as Ciro Zambrin puts it up into P3 on the timing screens. You just see, look at the way the simulators now work mechanically, so much more different in terms of what they do in our camera crew, and I believe that is at Zurich Airport. I'm going to have it to guess. And just receiving word on the screen that Ciro Zambra's last lap time does not count. So race control will look at that. He set an extra lap time and has gone a little quicker. We will bring you full classification of that grid order. So the one-shot qualifying there, already throwing up the fact that Lorenzo Hayder, 18th place. Enrique Marignon did actually improve. It goes up to P5, did Enrique Marignon. Ciro Zambra, though, did do 2 fast laps. His second lap will be taken away from him, and that one will not count towards his qualifying session. So already then seeing dramas in this opening qualifying session of the year. And what an interesting start to this campaign it has been already. There's a look at Munich. You see Michael Schmiedl at the bottom of your screen in the bottom right-hand corner. Nico Farland just behind him. You've got Sebastian Hirsch, Wojciech Plesny, it looks like in the white simulator a little further up. There is Nico Farland, obviously making that big jump up into the Racer League this season. Great to see Sinan Demirbaş in the simulators, in his gym gloves. Can confirm the gardening gloves are a thing of the past. And he's in gym gloves now because they're fingerless and he has a better feel on the new steering wheels. David Seed there. We got a clip of Alejandro Sanchez a moment ago. I believe Koke Lopez there as well. So great to see all these drivers currently sat in the simulators. Marcus Valverde's brought the headband back. That is fantastic to see. And there is the man, Alejandro Sanchez. Can he take the fight this season to Michael Schmiedl? That is going to be the biggest question. There's Enrique Marignon as well for good measure, just managing to keep an eye on what they're doing throughout this session. There's Sebastian Hirsch, great to see him in the car. We've seen him on the iRacing platform quite a lot as well in recent weeks. And the driver's just now getting ready to go. You can see the Zurich Airport Lounge there as well, looking fine and glorious with all these brand new simulators at play at the moment. So, qualifying is done. We will get that full grid order for you momentarily and be able to show you on the screen who is there. But it was Michael Schmiedl, I believe, who took that provisional pole. This is the difference now for this new format with both races being in one day. It's going to be that of Michael Schmiedl and everybody to, instead of have that few moments to just get out the simulator, maybe have a chat with us, it is now a case of they have to stay in their simulators and wait for the race because it's a very, very quick turnaround into this first race of the afternoon. And what a race it is going to be in front of us. 30 minutes, I believe it is, over several laps. So that is 30 minutes split turned into the laps. We'll be able to bring you them in a few moments' time as well. So this really is now crucial for drivers to get that mental preparation ready. We spoke last year a lot about how they can go from qualifying to the race, have that bit of a breather, take on some fluid, maybe have a stretch and a talk with whoever they need to chat with before then going into the race. Now, it is crucial that because they have to stay in their simulators, they don't really get that kind of switch off from qualifying into the race. It's all about going from this to the other and continuing to be focused and fully aware of what they've got to do today. And this is really going to be a crucial factor in this season, going through a lot of these new formats then. And it could be an interesting day. There is Ciro Zambra then, who hopefully we saw him race at Prodigy and a few other events last season. Couldn't give it a full go. He's hopefully going to be back for a full go this year. There's one of our Racing Lounge organisers. Sat there ready and watching, waiting to. You've seen these lovely pictures there of our orange simulator with a McLaren background on the screen. They're back to Munich, look. Just seeing Alejandro Sanchez. Patiently waiting. It's going to be interesting. He was really good, by the way, in the spring event series, was Alejandro Sanchez. He was fantastic. Can he start the season? We didn't see Schmiedl in them. So we didn't get to see what Schmiedl could do or was going to, but that was in the old simulators. That's the thing of the past. This is now. This is where it's all going to change. Madrid looking nice and lively as well, as it always does. Borja Zarzo there in the background behind the green simulator. Obviously a race winner a few weeks ago on iRacing. He's now sat there ready to go in this one. He'll be there in the Challenger League a little later on. This is going to be an interesting start to this race. Then with the drivers getting ready for the start of it, once more, a look at the prize money. 3,000 Swiss francs in store for the Race League today. 2,000 for second place, 1,200 if you complete the podium. Then 800 for fourth and fifth, 500 for sixth, 350 for seventh, 300 for eighth, 200 and 150 for ninth and 10th. And then across the championship, 10,000, 7,500, 5,000, 3,000, 2,500, 1,500, 1,200, 1,800 and 600 for the Race League for the season. And the Challenge League in the two columns to the right there, 750 for a race win, 500 for a podium to 300. That works all the way down to 100 Swiss francs for the top 10 finish. So prize money in store going forward for the Challenger League. And if you are wondering, obviously, which session you're watching, obviously with the two races now in one day, our beautiful new logos there. You're seeing the Racer League in the purple, the Challenger League in the green, and the Esports Series up top in the light blue. That'll be displayed whilst the race is happening in one of the corners of the screen, so you won't be able to struggle to know which race you are watching. Racer League, obviously in the purple, is the one that is going first, and that's going to be one of the more crucial ones today. This is going to be fantastic to keep our eyes on at this moment. And there we are. There's the addresses of the 4 racing lounges we have, and of what is to be a fantastic, or 4 of the most fantastic racing lounges you'll ever see in the world. And I can confirm the qualifying results just came up onto my screen. From the team's chat, Michael Smeedle is on pole, and that was with a lap time of a 1:14.459. They're the dates of the championships. It's Barcelona this week. Don't forget, the calendar actually gets released 10 days before the race day, so we won't know until the 13th of November what the next track will be. I don't know. The racers don't know. Here in the studio, none of us knows. It's all secretive this season. Pole position then goes the way of Michael Smeedle. Alejandro Sanchez is in that second place. We will bring the graphic up on screen to be able to show you fully, which I believe is coming your way in a couple of moments' time then. And this is really where it's going to get interesting now, and going to be able to see what these drivers can or cannot do as we head into this race. We're getting some lovely shots here of the Barcelona circuit. Some lovely views of what is to come for today. Just waiting for the final confirmation of the grid order, because Ciro Zambra set a second lap time, and we are just waiting for confirmation of that before we can show the full final grid on the screen then. So this is going to be absolutely crucial to see what Ciro Zambra's lap time will be and where this will place him on that grid order. So very interesting today to see what's going to happen. Very interesting to see what is in store for us as well today. This could be a crucial day of racing here. And what a day this poses to be as we head into really the unknown when you think about it. Not sure on the pacer drivers. We've not seen who can do what. We're not seeing who is really quick. We've seen one lap pace. So unlike that knockout qualifying that we saw last year and the year before, where we kind of got a bit of a run-through of, you know, a sort of reverse grid sprint race, if you will, you got to kind of see drivers' race pace, how they're going to sort of act in the race as the grid order was set. We don't know none of that now. That is out the window. We also don't know how the drivers are going to react to their new simulators. Obviously, that's the big change for this year, is these simulators. That is the big change. And that is the one where we're going to see which drivers are going to have had a lot of seat time, a lot of work in the new simulators, a lot of work in the cockpit, and a lot of work of what they can or cannot do. A lot of drivers on this grid, 18 in the Racer League, as we bring to you, again, some lovely shots of the Circuit de Catalunya Barcelona track, as we await the full confirmation of the grid order, and we await that final word from race control and from the stewards about what the lap time is. We are, though, going to show the clip of what the car is that they are racing this year. It is an absolutely beautiful car in store. We can take a few looks at it. So we are back and ready to go for the race. The drivers are just being placed in the correct grid positions at the moment, and I believe we are not able to bring you the final classification. In fact, here it is now. So we are able to sort out where Ciro Zambra goes, and he slots into P9. So Michael Smeedle takes the first pole position of the season from that of Alejandro Sanchez in second place. So already the two championship rivals from last season are going at it again this season at the front of the grid. Wojciech Plesny, P3. Enrique Marignon is in fourth place with Angelo Mikel lining up P5. Yannick Pletcher goes from sixth with Koke Lopez making a return. He's P7. Florian Horser is P8 with Ciro Zambra going P9. And just to point out there that Yannick Pletcher, one driver who stepped up from Challenger League last season, he's really made the jump up and he's making it go and work to his ability here. P6 at the moment for him. Christoph Holstein goes from 10th place with Sebastian Hirsch in 11th. Marcus Valverde will be P12, lining up along just ahead of Sinan Demerbas. Nico Forland from David Seed, Joshua Hader, Mohamed Ramsey and Lorenzo Hader bring up the rear of the grid. And that then is your first race first grid order here in the Racer League here at Racing Unleashed, where we're going to be bringing you the Challenger League live a little later on as well. This is going to be a fantastic day of racing. You're not going to want to miss a single moment of it. And this is going to be some fantastic action and drama for all to see and all to watch here. As there they are, the cars line up for the first time. You're going to see some fantastic liveries on these cars as well. There's I believe six drivers submitted a livery to go on a car. I'm not aware of which six. I believe Sebastian Hirsch is one. There he is in the orange and white. And I think Yannick Pletcher and Ciro Zambra have. They're the only three that I'm 100% certain have done it. The others will have to wait and see as we go through the grid. They're walking down the middle. Who will be the man to come out on top in this first race? So here at Barcelona, the lights appear on the screen. And for the first time this season, the 8-race calendar is about to get underway as we are all red. There's a jump start with green and go. The red and black car in the middle of the pack jumps the start there, and they get away well. Already Michael Smeedle come in to cover off that of Alejandro Sanchez, and Wojciech Plesny's looking up the inside in towards turn one. Can't do it there. Thinks better of it, and he's going to wait again. Already a driver off track. Has a little wiggle in a moment. Sideways round he goes, and chaos there as Christoph Holstein manages to avoid the contact there. So already a dramatic start in this race. There is the returning car. That is the yellow car, I believe, from Madrid. Nico Forland has also dropped down the order. Mohamed Ramsey's lost a couple of places. There was a definite jump start, though, in the middle of the pack. The red and black car was the one to jump the start. We'll try and figure out who that was. But the two race leaders already using a push to pass to their advantage. 8 usages of the push to pass. 8 seconds it activates for. It could be that man there, and I believe it is. Marcus Valverde. Definite jump start for me on that one. The stewards are going to take a look at that and obviously look back, see if it was or not. But the start of this race, a dramatic one already. 24 laps of action here at the Circuit de Catalunya de Barcelona. What a race this provides to be. Already the drivers are having issues with getting off the line as Valverde drive-through penalty, I assume, because he's straight into the pit lane. Getting it done early. Smeedle then, we saw that tactic from him last season, managing to use his strategy and use that push to pass early, defending in the rest of the race. But Alejandro Sanchez is no slouch and will want to keep on the back of him as they go through this pack. Already then, we're seeing Sebastian Hirsch in that orange and black and white livery attack the back then of what looks to be Yannick Pletcher as they come in towards turn 4. Little bit of follow the leader at the moment in this Formula One style car. And Smeedle already has that second lead, but has a usage of push to pass already gone. That's going to hurt him in this race. Here is Mohamed Ramsey. Making that step up from Challenger League into the Racer League then. He's just down the order in P12 off the back of that bit of prize money in store and some points on the championship standings, which is going to be crucial for him then. Mohamed Ramsey trying to come through the pack. Florian Horser, now he's also running a a customised livery. You see the blue and white paint job there. Fastest lap of the race goes the way of Schmiedel already. So making a bit of momentum at the start of this race. Yannick Pletcher and Sebastian Hirsch both on the push to pass. You see it activated when the red light comes on the screen. It's also showing you how many numbers are left. Lorenzo Hayder down the order. Where did Marcus Valverde come out? That was P15 for Marcus Valverde down after his drive-through penalty for the jump start. Yannick Pletcher on his Racer League debut, just managing to sort of be around 7th place behind Sinan Demirbaş, who's feeling under the weather. Koke Lopez makes his return to Racing Unleashed after winning a championship in Gran Turismo. A lot of tyre smoke there. Not sure who that was from, but he's ahead of Sebastian Hirsch. He's Koke Lopez now, so he's trying to make his way through the pack as well. And this is only the start of the race. We're on lap 3 of 24, a short lap around here, 1 minute 14, and already the drivers are trying to get into a nice rhythm. That's a lovely purple and black livery there of Ciro Zambra, trying to make his way. Obviously did a lot of prodigy, but I believe now drives for the Williams Esports team, or does some things with Williams Esports earlier in this year. So Ciro Zambra, obviously with a lot of work to do in this race, currently down in P5, but he's looking to try and get on the back of Enrique Marignon. Had that second lap of qualifying taken away from him due to only being allowed to set the one lap, and Ciro Zambra comes in towards turn 1. A move for Angelo Michele. He's got ahead of Florian Horser down the order, and you can just see, look at the way that the simulator's there, just on the tilt due to the camber of the circuit, and that is the new thing that the drivers have all had to get used to this year. These simulators, the cockpits now move around a lot more and a lot more fluid, so this is something that the drivers have all got to get used to and have all got to adapt to very, very quickly in this race, as Michael Schmiedel leads now. Under a second is the gap, so Alejandro Sanchez just starting to reel him in. This is Sebastian Hirsch on the back of Koke Lopez still at the moment. Currently running down in P8 and 9 is Koke Lopez, and that of Hirsch just rounding out the top 10, and the point is that of Christoph Holstein. Had one win to his name last year. Yannick Pletcher's got good success around this circuit, by the way. He won the Challenger League race here a year ago, or last season, should I say. So he was the race leader. Let's take a look at a replay at the bottom of the screen. You can just see Valverde, his car pulls out of his grid box right into the middle of the road, and his drama there as well at turn 1. That was Holstein avoiding the incidents all at turn 1. But for Marcus Valverde, the jump start quite significant. I'm enjoying the red with the green there for the Madrid Lounge simulator. The lounges, I believe the colour of the car is the lounge they're in, and then the colour of the trim is what is the colour of the simulator that they are driving in at that lounge. So then, as we're all going through this race, lap 5 of 24, Michael Schmiedel leads from Alejandro Sanchez. That gap is down to 0.2 of a second. We're watching Yannick Pletcher at the minute. He's gaining on the back of that of Sinan Demirbaş, struggling with a bit of an illness today, and he's trying to hopefully just get to the end of this race. Lap 5 of 24. And Pletcher putting plenty of pressure on that of Demirbaş in this race. The gap out front, though, opens back up to a second, and it's just ebbing and flowing as it drops back down to half second. There is Sanchez, and Schmiedel right in front of him at the moment. So for Alejandro Sanchez, he's really trying to improve and just get over that line, because Schmiedel last year managed to win a championship. Sanchez got closer, let's not forget this. Sanchez got a lot closer than the year before. And back to Yannick Pletcher on the back then of that of Sinan Demirbaş. Currently down the pack, and there is Yannick Pletcher running in P7 at the moment. Demirbaş and Pletcher both have 3 laps of push to pass left to their name. So already using theirs early doors. Lap 6 of 24 we're on, so still plenty of laps in store here for Yannick Pletcher to save some and maybe use it towards the end of the race. He's following now part of Sinan Demirbaş through in towards the middle sector. He goes for the 6th time of asking as he comes uphill again in towards what would be the second DRS zone for the Formula 1. Alejandro Sanchez just creeping slowly onto the back of Schmiedel. He's got 1 usage of push to pass over Schmiedel, so he's got that to his advantage. With 8 seconds worth of it, he can really try and use that, especially down that long start straight that we're going to see. It's going to be absolutely crucial for him to nail this and to get this done. As down the straight he comes now. Alejandro Sanchez then comes in towards turn one, doesn't use that push to pass yet. Yannick Pletcher does though, as does Sebastian Hirsch, who's hunting down that of Koke Lopez. And Yannick Pletcher has got ahead on the timing screen of that of Sinan Demirbaş for 6th and 7th. Sebastian Hirsch has also got ahead of Koke Lopez further down the order. So that is great to see. And we're watching this fight for P1 and 2. Smeedel there just locking up as now he dropped back to Sinan Demirbaş, running in the yellow liveried car. Here he comes down the start straight, into the middle sector, on towards the back straight. He's going to go, and Sinan Demirbaş now is going to have that of his Munich compatriot of Sebastian Hirsch gaining on him behind. Obviously, if you're wondering where the Challenger League is, stick around. The Challenger League is coming in a few moments' time. But Michael Smeedel leads from Sanchez, Wojciech Polezny and Enrique Marinon in a quiet 3rd and 4th place at the moment. Well, I say quiet, Wojciech's got that of Marinon and Ciro Zambra for company. There's Christoph Holstein then on the back of Koke Lopez. These are the scenes in the Zurich lounge, and that is upstairs, watching over the balcony. Down the hill, I believe we saw Yannick Pletcher's grandfather there, who's always a big supporter, comes to watch all these races if he possibly can. That is Sinan Demirbaş, so not only has he been overtaken by that of Yannick Pletcher a moment ago, he's also had a moment at turns 1 and 2, and off into the gravel he goes. So he's had a big moment there somewhere. This is a replay of it on the curb, got unsettled, lost the rear, round he went, and he's dropped down to P12 and out the points at the moment. That'll moves up Mohamed Ramsey into P10. Lorenzo Hayder down the bottom of the pack with Joshua Hayder and Nico Forland and Marcus Valverde at the moment. David Seed not seen the best from him so far. Obviously the Racer League driver at this moment in time. 7/10 of a second, Smeedel to Sanchez, both just saving that little bit of push to pass here. Oh, big lock up there coming through the hairpin. Not sure if the driver got out of that one or if he made a mistake. Nobody's tumbled down the leaderboard there, so I assume he's carried on and just locked the brakes up. Now Marinon uses a lap of push to, or a usage of push to pass. He's trying to get on the back then of Wojciech Polezny in P3, and he's pretty close to the back of Wojciech Polezny. Florian Horse is doing the same thing. Here he is, close to the back of Sinan Demirbaş. Demirbaş has lost a few places, and that just shows the overpower of the push to pass there. Ciro Zambra did get past Enrique Marinon, and every driver has at least now used one lap of push to pass. And a fantastic start to this race. Sinan Demirbaş now down to 13th with Florian Horser moving up into P12. So there's Sinan Demirbaş. Huge puff of tyre smoke, I believe, from the back of Sinan then. And some more shots there in Zurich Airport. Great to see some families and friends come out to support the drivers. Replay then of Florian Horser, just used that push to pass, just accelerated with a bit more speed down the straight. Through he went on that of Sinan Demirbaş. This is looking back from Koke Lopez then. That now is Christoph Holstein just getting closer now to Ciro Zambra. He's trying to now get on the podium with Wojciech Polezny. We'll be able to hear from the top three after the race. And for Ciro Zambra then, here he comes. Just see that nose dip on the simulators there as it just drops down, dips on the front end as they turn in towards turn 5 now. Zambra on the back of Polezny. As the two leaders are about 5.5 seconds up the road from these two at the moment. And it's just going to be interesting to see what these guys can do then. Through they go. Ciro Zambra now joining hopefully what will be a full season for him. Like we said, he did a few things in America with Prodigy last season, missed a couple of races because of the Formula One as well, going to view that. So hopefully he's here, because he get a win last season? Can't remember. I think he was on the podium for a few races, and it was great to see. But it's now going to be a case of see what he can do. Alejandro Sanchez uses push to pass, as does Michael Schmiedl. So out front, the two leaders starting to use that push to pass a little more. We're on lap 11 of 24. Here comes Ciro Zambra, who uses a use of push to pass. Can't find a way through on Polezny there, though. And sticking to the back of that car like glue, although he has a little bit of a moment coming up in towards turn 3. Here he comes again then, just putting some pressure on the Czechia driver of Wojciech Polezny. The young Swiss talent, Ciro Zambra. Hard on the brakes. You see that little delta in the top part of his screen on the simulator there, just his throttle and brake input. Just a little interesting to sort of see how much they use throttle and brake-wise through the corners there. As the camera manages to just focus in on that point, you can just see there, look, full throttle, just has a bit of a lift, and then comes through the corner and doesn't even touch the brakes through that part of it. So it's at the minute going great guns for Ciro Zambra. He's on the back of Polezny and applying that pressure. A twitch there for Wojciech then, coming through the hairpin. You're just seeing a bit of tyre smoke, just maybe giving it too much of a turn in. As Polezny now starting to feel the heat. Sanchez is within half a second of Michael Schmiedl as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what these drivers can do as we go late on. Sanchez now sets fastest lap. They both use push to pass. They're trying to gain on each other. Ciro Zambra uses one more again. Look at him just close and close and close on the back of Wojciech Polezny, who uses one late at the end of the lap and manages to use it to defend against Ciro. Now, one thing we're going to have to ask the drivers is if they can see the other usages of the other drivers around them, because if they can, that'll be interesting key little points to see whether Ciro can or cannot see what Wojciech is using and how much he has left. 8 seconds a lap, 8 usages they get, or 8 seconds at a time, 8 usages they get. So it's not 8 laps, it's just 8 usages. They can use multiple on one lap if they really want to. This is Alejandro Sanchez then in Madrid. Looking on at him, fastest lap of the race. There's no points for fastest lap of the race. Schmiedl had a bit of a wiggle there, just understeered a little wide. He's had to bring it back in. You see that puff of tyre smoke again, as the tyre just doing a little too much than what he'd like. And Sanchez here, just getting that little bit closer. And obviously we are in the Apex Racing studios, and Alejandro Sanchez, one of the Apex Racing drivers, so I'm sure the guys here in the studio would love to see Alejandro Sanchez take a race win to his name. As down into turn 1, both using a push to pass again. Sanchez still crucially has that use of push to pass over that of Michael Schmiedl. We cut back to Ciro Zambra then down in P3 at the moment. At P4, sorry, chasing for P3. He's pulled away from Marignon a little bit. He's got Yannick Pletcher gaining on Enrique Marignon. Pletcher's doing well. Pletcher's only got 2 usages left though in this race. Ciro Zambra really starting to put pressure on Wojciech Polezny. See what we can do throughout this this race for these drivers, because they're out putting on a great display at the moment. Lap 13 of 24, so 12 to go. Sanchez just creeping onto the back now of Michael Schmiedl. Really starting to put the champion under a bit of pressure. But we know Schmiedl. He's cool and collected. He doesn't feel the pressure. Down towards turn 1, they come again. Is there any push to pass from Sanchez? Schmiedl uses one. Sanchez this time doesn't. And look at how great an effect that has. Look at the distance Schmiedl was just able to put on that of Alejandro Sanchez. Polezny and Zambra now use one apiece as they come down the start straight. They're in a battle. So now Alejandro Sanchez has 2 usages of push to pass over that of Michael Schmiedl, and that is going to be absolutely crucial here to see what will happen later on in this race. This could be absolutely key in this one to see what these drivers are going to do. Ciro Zambra still staying pretty close to the back of Polezny. Marignon's got 2 laps worth more than these guys, so again they've got a few laps they've got a few usages, sorry, to use over the 2 in front. This is going to be absolutely huge for Ciro Zambra and for Wojciech Polezny. Crucial to get some points on the board and get the first podium out the way this season. It will be huge to see what these drivers can do. As there is the live camera shots in Zurich Airport then of Ciro Zambra, just gaining, not using any usages of push to pass. And through turn 1 and 2, there you go then, up towards now that of turn 3. But Marignon just coming back at him ever so slightly. And Marignon's had to get the hurry up here because he's being caught by that of Yannick Pletcher. Here's Koke Lopez down in P9 at the moment, making that return, as we said, since 2021. Gran Turismo champion he is now. So it's great to have a Gran Turismo champion out there on the grid, and this is going to be an interesting state to see what he can do, see how quick he gets back into this rhythm. As Koke Lopez trying to keep pressure on that of Sebastian Hirsch. Here's Ciro Zambra once again. Polesny just a little wider on entry there. You just see that tyre smoke here, and he's just making them tyres do a little too much. Now into the right-hander. Down through the penultimate corner, set yourself up. Polesny there, you just saw him come back onto the circuit, then just try and extend that corner entry. Kept the two wheels the right side of the racing line. Ciro Zambra uses a use of push to pass, as now does Enrique Marignon. Zambra's coming down the straight. Is he close enough? He has a look, but it is only a look. He's not close enough to Polesny, and now Polesny has one usage over him. Smeedel has used another one. He's got one left to his name, as we are on that of lap 16 of 24. And this is going to be absolutely pivotal at the end of this race, I reckon, to see who is doing what in this battle. And this could be huge for Ciro Zambra. There he is, looking on from our camera crew in the airport. Ciro Zambra trying to keep pressure on Polesny. Polesny's used push to pass, and now it's 3 apiece for the pair of them then, as they come towards the final sector of the circuit once again. Can they now just start to mount an attack coming into the final third of this race? Sanchez still within a second, has 3 usages crucially over that of Michael Smeedel. So that is huge for him. Here's Enrique Marignon on the back of Ciro Zambra, has a use of push to pass. Ciro's uses one now as well. Used it quite late, did Ciro there, trying to use it through 1 and 2. Florian Horser uses one. He's tried to gain on the back of Angelo Mikel for the top 10. Final bit of prize money and final position for the points in this race then. And obviously only the 8 races, not the 10 that we're used to seeing. Smeedel from Sanchez, from Polesny, with Zambra, Marignon, Yannick Pletcher, Sebastian Hirsch, Christoph Holstein, who's managed to get past Koke Lopez, Angelo Mikel, Florian Horser, Mohamed Ramsey, Sinan Demirbas, David Seed, Marcus Valverde, Nico Forlan, Joshua Hader, Lorenzo Hader is your top 18. That is your classification at the moment. And we've got the Challenger League race coming up in a short while as well. That'll be pretty much right after the interviews of the top 3. So far, an interesting fight in this race. Alejandro Sanchez, 2nd place on the back of Smeedel. Smeedel's done for push to pass. Sanchez has 1 usage left. Holstein and Hirsch use another dose of push to pass. And at the moment, Sanchez, 3 usages left, gaining on the back of Smeedel. You just kind of fancy Sanchez to get it done here, but Smeedel is no slouch. He's a back-to-back champion for good reason. He is a very, very quick driver. And these two have gone hammer and tong for so long throughout their time here at Racing Unleashed. They're gonna know each other's strengths and weaknesses. Maybe not in these new simulators. So that is something worth keeping an eye on. Rounding the penultimate corner and to come and start that of lap 19 of 24. You can already see Smeedel going defensive. Sanchez not wanting to use that push to pass just yet. Smeedel goes defensive, comes back towards the braking zone now. Turns into turn one, makes it nice and easy. Polezny, Zambra and Marignon all using push to pass behind. And look at this train of cars, because Yannick Plecher is gaining on them all as well. He's got a couple of usages left to his name. There's Enrique Marignon now, trying to get closer to the back of Ciro Zambra. So an interesting start to this race already here at Racing Unleashed. A great fight for the top, for the podium, last podium spot between Polezny, Zambra and Marignon, who we're on board with at the moment. And then a great fight between the two leaders out front. Okay, Lopez still with Holstein. He's got Angelo Mikel with him, and Florian Haas is not too far behind. Here is Sanchez once again. And now towards the penultimate corner. Start lap 20 of 24. 5 laps to go. Smeedle goes defensive. Sanchez uses a push to pass activation, pulls it back to the racing line. Alejandro Sanchez round the outside on the straight. Smeedle had a little moment there, and Sanchez takes the lead of this race. And the strategy of saving a couple of usages of push to pass works for him. Ciro Zambra is now fully out of his push to pass, as Marignon has 2 usages left, as does Polezny, and Zambra couldn't put it to good use there. And now he could come under pressure from Enrique Marignon, but Alejandro Sanchez leads this race, and you're seeing another cloud of smoke from Michael Smeedle's car there. But is this advantage Sanchez with them 2 usages left in this race? It'd be a pleasure to speak to these drivers. Not spoke to them for quite a while, so it'd be a pleasure to get to speak to these guys yet again on the podium. And Alejandro Sanchez takes the lead on lap 20 of this race. So going well at the moment, trying to use that advantage of having a few usages of push to pass left in his back pocket. Trying to just pull away now. Marignon, he's got a few usages left. Fastest lap, Alejandro Sanchez. He uses yet another and extends his gap to a second. Marignon, who's got 2 usages left. There's the overtake of Sanchez. Relatively easy. Just watch Smeedle here, look, I'm not sure if he tapped the rear of Sanchez. Sanchez didn't react to the tap, so I'm not sure if he tapped the rear of Sanchez or not. But either way, that is the race probably put to bed. Marignon now with 2 usages left. Lap 21 of 24, 4 laps to go in this race. He's trying to get closer to the back then of Ciro Zambra. Koke Lopez and that of Angelo Mikel still have 5 usages left to their name. Here is Marcus Valverde. After that drive-through, he's been overtaken by David Seed. He needs to get past David Seed, who's on the back of Sinan Demirbas. Hats off to Sinan Demirbas. Under the weather today, so great to see him out there. And great to see him trying to get to the end of this one, because it can't be easy. We were speaking to him earlier in the day. Lock up there from Valverde. That's not going to help him at all. Gap out front, 1.1 seconds as it ebbs and flows. Wojciech Polezny is under some pressure for 3rd and 4th. This is the fight, though, between Valverde, Seed and Demirbas for that of 13th, 14th and 15th place then in this race. Marcus Valverde doing a fantastic job since his drive-through to get back onto these guys and try and get some, some overtakes done and move up that order just a little bit. Try and end your race better than it started, I suppose, and come away feeling somewhat content with your day of racing after that drive-through penalty at the start. Sinan just defending that line in towards turn 1 slightly. Smeedle still with Sanchez, and that gap is back under a second, so Smeedle hasn't gone anywhere at the moment. He is still there. David Seed now. Currently P14. Challenger League champion of 2 seasons ago. What a drive David Seed had. Had his first season in the Racer League last time out. And here then at the moment, doing the business so far. Back to Marignon then. 23 or 24, users push to pass, as does Yannick Pletcher. Ciro Zambra goes defensive. Enrique Marignon right around the outside of turn one. Contact was made. Ciro Zambra off at turn one, rejoins now. Loses the place. Now, is Ciro going to feel that Marignon didn't leave him enough room? I believe the pass was done. So not sure what happened there. And back down the order, David Seed has lost out to that then of Marcus Valverde. Marignon moves up to P4. This is a replay of what happened, and just looking at it, look, Marignon is fully in front. Interesting. Have to wait and see what happens here. I reckon that's going to be a no further action, to be fair. Zambra's come on. He's under pressure from Pletcher now. Behind. Pletcher's got one usage of push to pass left. There is David Seed in Madrid, as Sanchez uses his final lap of push to pass, his final usage of push to pass, and starts the final lap of this race. And for Alejandro Sanchez then, he's on his way to taking the first win of the season. Marignon and Pelesny use the same. Yannick Pletcher uses his last lap. Koke Lopez and Angelo Mikel have got 3 in store, so they try and save theirs for a little later on. Try and use it in 1. There is Yannick Pletcher. He rounds the final, the turn 4, sorry, in towards turn 5. And down the hill he comes now. Here is then Alejandro Sanchez, who got ahead of Michael Smeedle. He did the work on lap 20, what he needed to do. And Alejandro Sanchez comes around the final corner now, and he's going to take the first win of the season. It will be Alejandro Sanchez who wins here at Catalunya. Michael Smeedle second place, and Wojciech Pelesny, I tip my hat to you, sir. What a drive to hang on in there over Marignon, over Ciro Zambra. P3 and a double podium for Munich. They'll be very happy. Enrique Marignon P4, Ciro Zambra 5th place from Yannick Pletcher, Sebastian Hirsch from Christoph Holstein, with Koke Lopez down in P9, Angelo Mikel 10th, Florian Horser P11, Mohamed Ramsey 12th, Marcus Valverde got ahead then, he did get ahead of Sinan Demirbas, then David Seed, Monico Forland, and then the 2 Hayder brothers, Joshua from Lorenzo down the order. But that man there can be a very, very happy man. He has won the first race of the Racing Unleashed Racer League Championship. What a way to do so. It's advantage Alejandro so far. 7 races left for them two to go hammer and tong at it. And it's 1 for Madrid in the championship as well. What a drive from Sanchez. Smeedle back to the drawing board, I think, for their strategy of push to pass. He stuck with that so well last year. Here comes Lorenzo Hayder to cross the line down in P18. Not the debut in the Racer League that he would have wanted, but what action already at the start of this race. We are going to be obviously live as well with the Challenger League here in a few moments' time. That'll be in about 20 minutes or so, I do believe. There then all the scenes in Madrid, and it was great to see them take the first win as everybody comes over to congratulate Alejandro Sanchez. You see in the background there, I think Marignon, the Racing Lounge colleagues, and Marignon's just climbed out the cockpit. Family and friends obviously coming over to applaud, congratulate Ciro Zambra. Chatting away in Zurich. P5 in the end. I'm wondering if he's just chatting about that little moment he had with Marignon. There is Sanchez again, still collecting high fives from everybody. What a start to the season. That was absolutely fantastic to see down the order then. Really was a great start to the day for everybody here in the Racer League. It's Challenger League time soon. There is one of the Hayders. Here's Yannick Pletcher. Good thumbs up. He's always got a smile on his face, is Yannick. I'm sure he'll take that one. as he wipes the sweat from his brow. He's, yeah, I'm sure he'll be a very, very happy man with the way that one worked and turned out. Alejandro Sanchez, then, he is the man who's race winner for the Racer League, first time today. And what a drive it was from Alejandro Sanchez. It was a real great fight. He stuck in there for 20 laps and then decided to pull the trigger on lap 20. Now, whether the drivers can see what usage left of push to pass the other drivers have, their rivals have around them, I'm unsure. We'll have to ask when we see them or speak with them. But they definitely had the usage there. I think it was 4 usages left over at the end over Michael Smeedel to take that win. So it's Alejandro Sanchez who wins from Smeedel, with Wojciech Polezny in P3. Enrique Marignon was P4 from Ciro Zambra, rounding out the top 5. Yannick Pletcher P6, P7 for Sebastian Hirsch, P8 Christoph Holstein, P9 for Koke Lopez, P10 and a little bit of prize money for Angelo Mikel. Florian Horser P11 with Mohamed Ramsey P12, Marcus Valverde in 13th place from Sinan Demerbas, David Seed in P15 with Nico Forland, Joshua Hader and Lorenzo Hader rounding out 16th, 17th and 18th place. So what a race, what a start, what an opener to Racing Unleashed here, where we go beyond the pinnacle in 2020, or the 24-25 season, I suppose. We get ready to go into the Challenger League race. We have got the highlights, I do believe it says the replay at the top of the screen. This then is what happened at the start to Marcus Valverde. And it just kind of got really tighted towards turn 1. Christoph Holstein did well to avoid there. Michael Smeedel just having a few lock-ups. That was Sinan Demerbas who lost it all over the curb on his own at turn 1. Florian Horser using that push to pass to get ahead of him, and it was pretty easy for him. And then Alejandro Sanchez on lap 20. He pulled the trigger on the push to pass and managed to get the move done down in towards turn number 1. On the outside line. And what a move it was as Enrique Marignon and Ciro Zambra there just coming to blows a little bit. And it was that man who was put for the cheeks, rightly so, as he collects all the high fives and all the applause from everybody in the lounges. What a job for Alejandro Sanchez there. It's going to be an interesting, fascinating Challenger League race that we've got coming up for you in a few moments' time as well. As we see these scenes of Catalonia. Lovely shots of what has been a fantastic circuit. The one-shot qualifying will start in a few moments' time. Now, obviously, if you was wondering at the top of the programme, where was the gear-up session? The gear-up is now gone, and it is called warm-up. The drivers get that before, just as we are coming on to the air, so we don't get to see the warm-up anymore. So it just gets to show us then a little bit about it. Now, going into this Challenger League race, there was a few stipulations and a few changes to Challenger League over the course of this season. One of which was they was going to be in the Formula 2 car. Now, Formula 2 car was not ready for the drivers to use. It was not finished being created by the wonderful people who create the cars for us here at Racing Unleashed. So they will be in the Formula 1 car. And hopefully going into next month, we will find out if the car is ready to go for the Formula 2s for the Challenge League. So the Challenge League drivers really have a difficult start to their season. They're going to be used to this Formula 1 car. They've tested it around Catalonia in preparation for today's race. Then have to learn a new car going into week 2. Now, week 2 is at the back end of November, and if you're wondering when we find out the track, I don't know. None of us here in the studio know. Neither do the drivers. We find out 10 days before. I believe it's the 13th of November. We find out what the car will be. It is going to be pretty interesting, to say the least. We are waiting for the drivers to coming for the interviews at the moment, but we are just waiting for them. We are hopefully going to be able to speak to a few drivers in a moment or two. What an opener to this race it has been. It was fantastic to see the start of this one take place. It was fantastic to see the shape take place here as well. Great start. And hopefully we can get a bit of action underway, or a bit more action, should I say, underway with the Challenger League coming up in a few moments' time. Here at Catalonia then, round one of the season. Hopefully we'll be able to speak to a few drivers in a couple of moments' time. So, an interesting race there. Alejandro Sanchez takes the first advantage at the moment. And hopefully he'll be chuffed to bits so we can speak with him as well. I believe we can, though, speak to our second place man, Michael Smeedle. Michael, can you hear us? Not sure at the moment if he can hear us or not. Don't think he can out there so far. He is ready to go, and can't hear him or him hear us at this moment in time. So we will hopefully try and bring you that interview of Michael Smeedle then in a couple of moments' time, and be able to see what he'll be able to do or tell us. We'll wait for him and Wojciech Plesny and then Alejandro Sanchez as we get ready for the second qualifying coming up in a few moments' time. That for the Challenger League drivers, obviously the one-shot qualifying. If you're not familiar with the format is then the drivers get the outlap, prepare the tyres, prepare the brakes, get ready then for that one flying lap. And it's important that you don't make a mistake, you don't invalidate that lap time, because you only get one run. You then have to drive back into the pits at the very end of the lap. And that will be your one qualifying time done. The drivers will be able to show you momentarily of who is in this Challenger League lineup. A few returning faces that we know of. So it should be an interesting day of action, to say the least. It's going to be, for me, I think, a fantastic Challenger League this year. Obviously, the bonus with the Challenger League is the defending champion is no longer in it. They get promoted to the Racer League. So what this means for them is, for everybody, is that they can... It's free for all in terms of this championship. Apart from the ones who's been there before, we know the likes of Borges Arzo is in the Challenger League. He's one that you've got to keep your eyes on, I think, this season. Has to be one. Haven't seen him win since the prologue back last April on the Assetto Corsa platform. We obviously saw him win a couple of weeks ago on iRacing, but that is completely different. That is his setup at home. That is his comfort at home. That is not in the simulators here at Racing Unleashed. So, different kettle of fish for him. He hopefully is going to be able to get in that simulator and feel at home once and for all. So let's see what Zarzo can do coming up. He's going to be one to watch this season, as are numerous of names as well. So let's see what will happen here as we go through this fantastic journey at the moment then. So we are here at Racing Unleashed. We are live, of course, on YouTube and on Twitch if you want to join us on either of them platforms and watch the entire broadcast live. We go beyond the pinnacle here in 2024 and into 2025 as the championship will roll over this month, next month and December, and then all the way through into the new year of January, February, March and May, rounding out the 8 races for the season. So this is it really is going to get interesting going into this championship this season. We don't know the tracks. We're going to find out 10 days before the actual race itself. So the 13th of November will be the track date for everybody to find out, drivers and us alike. We will not, sadly, be able to hear from the Racer League drivers for the interviews. We cannot hear from them, as we are going to head into the qualifying session then of the Challenger League drivers. And this is now going to be an interesting one to see them go through. Borges Arzo, like we said, Unai Morotto, Roberto Miguez, Adrian Gomez. all returning faces. Salva Tellens is going to be going from Madrid as well. He's a new driver to the grid. Tyler Klaus, Simon Demori, Walter Troninger, our oldest competitor. Michael Kaibash is going as well from Munich. I believe that's the new name. Apologies if I get these names wrong. Please feel free to contact me and let me know how it is pronounced. David Verthrich going in 10th. Mario Stanic. Tuan Kai Boy is also going. He's a new driver in Switzerland. Andreas Koch, James Ego, Tim Portsmatter. Managed to have a chance to speak to him across the week as well. Great to see him and speak with him. Jason Blysick there, Nikolai Rogiev, as well as Timothy Spearson, who we've seen a few times on the iRacing platform. So again, apologies if I have got your name wrong. If you would like to tell me how it is pronounced, do so. Whether it's finding me on the Discord of Racing Unleashed or on Instagram as well. Make sure you try and just send me a voice note, whatever it may be, so I can get your pronunciation of your name right for the next one then. As we prepare for this qualifying, may as well tell you what is coming up then here at Racing Unleashed. Like next week, we're back. I believe we're at Suzuka for the iRacing event. That is round 6 or 7. I do believe it is round 8 even of the championship. Suzuka, and then I believe Watkins Glen and Road and Sebring left to go. I think there's 3 events left to go. Might be 4 events left to go, but that is coming up next week on iRacing. That'll be a week on Sunday, so make sure you have got your qualification in for that. The qualification period for the iRacing event starts on Monday, this Monday coming. So make sure you go to apexracingleague.com and sign up through there, get the registration done and join us live for that one for your chance to be on the grid for the iRacing event. The next Assetto Corsa Challenge will be taking place at the 23rd of November. The qualification period will open up around the 13th of November when we find out the track and what is happening. So it's a shame we didn't get to speak to the top 3 in the first part of this session, but we get to see these drivers now out there on the circuit, and we get to see their qualifying that comes up in a couple of moments time as we get ready to go in this one then. Borges also has to be one of the favourites, along with, though, that of you see Adrian Gomez, very quick driver. Unai Morotto was capable of doing a few things last season. Tyler Klaus, he was up on the podium a few times. Simon Demori, Tim Portsmatter, Andreas Koch, what can he do? Mario Stanic, very capable drivers, as well as going to be interested to see what some of these new drivers can do. You know, a few new names out there, so let's see what they can do as the qualification is about to take place, and then we're going to be able to see what is happening in that lap. Remember, new format of qualifying. 1 lap is all you get. One lap. If you mess it up, you make the mistake, that is it. Your lap will be done, invalid, or make the mistake, you'll be lining up towards the back end of the grid because you don't have time to set another one. It is 1 lap and 1 lap only. So it is crucial here that everything is going right for you on the circuit. Drivers are out there on the track. And the thing is for these drivers as well, this is going to be the interesting thing. Last year we had the knockout qualifying format, and we had the format where the drivers was in a sprint race type thing with a knockout every lap. We lost the bottom 2 drivers. Now they're qualifying on their own. So not only is it 1 lap, is they can't be put off by other drivers. They can't get involved in incidents with other drivers. It is all down to them. So if they make the mistake, it is all on the driver. Cannot blame, I suppose simulators will be simulators and technology is technology, just like in the real world. Cars can have failures. And, you know, that is the case for sim equipment as well. So it is crucial that for these drivers, their lap is as good as they can make it. So let's see then. Adrian Gomez is currently down the start straight. He's going to start the first flying lap here in this qualifying session then. Breaks into turn 1, just pulls onto the curb, uses all the runoff he can get as he opens his entry into 1, flicks it left for 2, not too greedy on the curbs. Now to the right-hander of 3, clips the apex, lets the car drift out wide using that bit of runoff. Again here, he'll probably use a bit of curb to open the corner up, not too much, don't want to get greedy. Don't pick that apex up until the end, just there, manages, well, not the cleanest line through there. You know, we've seen drivers go to the left and then back across to the right, flicks it then to the left, as Adrian Gomez comes across now and down through turn 5 in towards 6 and 7. Into 7 and 8 then. Uphill he climbs. Crucial to get this right. Do not run too wide on the exit of turn 9. Down the back straight he goes, which would be the second DRS zone in the Formula 1. Here comes Adrian Gomez in towards the old hairpin now. Or where the old hairpin was, apologies. The old hairpin is actually at Donington Park. To the right-hander. Now into the final 2 corners. Nail these two. Get a good run out of this. Get a good run out the final corner. It's looked a clean lap so far from Adrian Gomez. We saw a 14.4 from Michael Smeedle in the Racer League qualifying. It's a 15.3 so far for Adrian Gomez, and it is looking like provisional pole at the moment. Drivers may still be on lap times. Here is Boy at the moment. Can he take that provisional pole away on his debut at Racing Unleashed? Here he comes towards the line. What will the lap time be? It is only good enough to put him 13th place. Roberto Miguez, the only driver who hasn't got a lap time on the board as of yet. But a decent lap time there, as now it is that of, and that is Salva, who has gone provisional pole by 0.2 of a second. So what a lap time there from the debutant. Tim Portsmatter into P3 as well, 0.2 separating the top 3. Great lap time there, and it's only a second separating the top 11. Roberto Miguez did not get a lap time on the board. And that then is the end of qualifying. Any lap times going from now will obviously not count. They have all set their 1 lap time that they are able to set. Anything after this will not be set. It will not be counted at the end. So going to be interesting to see what these drivers can do going forward. But a stellar qualifying there from the debutant, as we're on board with Tuan. And he is, I believe, I've just been told that he's also an Apex Racing driver as well. So in the same sort of stable as Alejandro Sanchez. So Apex Racing, good start for them if you were an Apex Racing fan. Great start. Felt out that simulator, lovely. They look, I tell you what, the new sims, they look fantastic. If you watch Racing Unleashed over the years, you'd notice that the old one's a little narrower on the nose. And these ones are a little more wider. They look fantastic. They drive fantastic as well. I had the pleasure of driving in one last year. It was fantastic. So Salva Tellenzen is P1. Adrian Gomez, P2 from Tim Portsmatter, 3rd. Unai Morato, P4. Good qualifying for the youngster, our youngest driver here at Racing Unleashed. Timothy Spearson, P5 with Simon Demori, P6. Mario Stanic goes from 7th with Borja Zarzo down in 8th. Tyler Klausch, 9th. And Jamie Ego rounding out the top 10. Nikolai Rogiev is P11 from David Verthrich, P12. Michael Kaibach going from 13th place. Andreas Koch going from 14th. Walter Troninger, P15. Jason Bleisig in 16th. Tuan Kai Bui in P17. And Roberto Miguez, no time, down in 18th place. So that then is your grid order for this qualifying for the second race of the day, and that is the Challenger League race. And what a race this is going to be in this one. It is going to prove to be an absolute classic here at Catalunya. As the drivers now will stay in their simulators, they'll be preparing then to go in this race in a few moments' time. There is Unai Morato. Looks like he's had a bit of a growth spurt in the year since we've last seen him. Last day in the year, since January, in the Battle for Glory. Back in January, there is Adrian Gomez. And there is the pole sitter. Well, what can he do in this race? Interesting to see the different drivers' reactions here. Drivers sometimes looking at other drivers, focused on the screen in front of them, looking up. If you see them looking up, that's kind of because in Munich, I believe they have screens in between each simulator. So they're kind of looking up at the screens and checking out the live broadcast. They'll be able to see themselves. So we saw Walter Troninger give us a thumbs up there as well from one of our new drivers. There is the only one that doesn't, I believe, have it is the Zurich Lounge. So I don't think they'll be able to see it. Maybe so up on the big screen. Some new and familiar faces there in Zurich, all giving us a wave and a thumbs up as we go through the order. So very interesting to see the different looks on drivers' faces, and interesting to see how they're going to approach the race and tackle the race, and how are they going to use it and focus going further forward in this one. That is one of the more crucial things that we're going to see throughout this afternoon in the racing then. So, Challenger League time here at Racing Unleashed. And what a time it is going to be. This is going to be fantastic. At the moment, it is that of Alejandro Sanchez, who won the first race. The grid order has been set. We are waiting to go here in the second race, as the drivers will just be preparing to get onto the grid. Obviously, they'll be placed in the correct positions. No formation lap. Straight up start. Saw Marcus Valverde jump the start. There is then the overall leaderboard at the moment. The classifications. Salva Talens then. Talens, I assume, is your pole sitter. From that of Adrian Gomez, Tim Portsmatter going from P3. And like I said, I had the pleasure of speaking to him in the week. I was asking if I was still on the comms. He's looking forward to this championship. He's really focused this season on this championship. And Zurich as well can be happy, because obviously they took the win, the championship last season, as we all are on the grid. So they're going to want another championship to their name. We're on the grid though for the second race and the final race here at Circuit de Catalunya, Barcelona. Who is going to come out on top as we go through the grid? And we await the start of this one. Lights not yet on the screen. This could be absolutely crucial in this race to see who's going to be able to do what. As you can hear, the cars just revving a little bit at the moment. They're just trying to get themselves in a zone, in a rhythm. Focus on them lights appearing on the screen. 60 seconds we're being told till the start. So a bit of a wait for the drivers at the moment. Nerves kicking in for the new drivers. Familiar scenes kicking in for the regular drivers. With one goal in mind, and that is to come away at the end of this year with the championship. And that is their big goal that they need to come away with. And remember that they have that goal in mind. Looking down, it all just quietens before it gets hectic with the sound of the Formula One cars driving around this Catalunya circuit. Obviously for these guys, they'll be back in that Formula 2 car, hopefully for the next time out. Here we go then, the lights come on screen. And for the first time in the Challenger League this season, we are long hold, green and go then at the start of the race. And it's not a very good start from the front row of the grid. It seemed to be a bit of a hold from all the drivers. They've all not got away great. Bit of a bump down the field. Onto the grass goes one of the cars, but he's managed to come back onto the circuit. They're all jostling for position down in towards turn one. All clean at the moment, a little wheel banging from a few drivers, but everybody through squeaky clean and up in towards turn three. Some more banging of the car going on here as they come up towards and turn four. It is a great start if you are the race leader. We're on board with Tyler Klaus, who's in the middle of the pack at the moment, and he has crucially got away well. Everybody's got away well. 24 laps, everybody I say, bar Borges Arzo, who's tumbled down to 18th place. Walter Troninger is down to 14th as well, so not the start for him that he would have wanted in this one as well. And a couple of drivers moving up the order. Tim Portsmatter gets past Adrian Gomez. That puts him into second place on the road at the moment. And in fact, that is Mario Stanic who's tumbled down to P5. Look at Tyler Klaus. Was that a usage of push to pass early doors? Late on the brake, straight into the back of the car in front. Both managed to keep it onto the circuit, pointed in the right direction. But a little late on the brakes there from Tyler Klaus going into that corner. And just there, managing to avoid a huge collision. Simon Demori then, he is up into P6 round the outside of Mario Stanic and hoping to progress on this at the moment. You're seeing drivers have already used that push to pass at the start of this race. Here is Michael Kaibach looking to get past that of Andreas Koch, and he does so as well. Jamie Ego has dropped down a position as Gomez to the outside there. Oh, there's a spinner. That's Kaibach who's round. So he's just made a brilliant overtake and he's lost the car. Now round he goes. And that is horrible for the young man on his first race here at Racing Unleashed. To lose it at turn 2. What a shame for him. Adrian Gomez now trying to put the pressure back on as he's down in 13th place. He's on the back of Jason Bleissig. Adrian Gomez is going to want to try and get to the front of the pack as soon as he possibly can. Great start, though, for Talens out front. He's managed to keep hold of that lead. He's extended his gap 2 seconds. He's used 1 usage of push to pass already. So that was absolutely key for him to get this start nailed and get away well. In fact, Tim Portsmouth has used 2 as Adrian Gomez there has a bit of a snap. He just doesn't look very happy on the face camera there. He's just struggling just a little bit. Early on in this race, he's down to 15th place. Had a good qualifying. The race not going his way, though, at the moment. So Adrian Gomez so far. Got to try and come back. Here's Simon Demori, P7. Here in the Challenger League at the moment. Being led by the pole sitter of Talens, Adrian Gomez. Another bit of a moment, just a bit of a twitch on the steering wheel there, just trying to keep it all collected and pointing in the right direction is Adrian Gomez. He's now going wheel to wheel. Well, I believe he's just got past Walter Troninger. Yes, he has. Well, Troninger's not let this fight to end just yet. Troninger trying to go back up the inside through turn 9, right around the outside. Adrian Gomez, they just bang wheels again and coming into to where the hairpin used to be. That long sweeping left-hander, and Gomez goes deep at the hairpin, off into the gravel. And that face is just going to look even more disgruntled at the moment. It's Kaibach going wheel to wheel now with Gomez as well. They're all in a great scrap here with Walter Troninger. In fact, Borges Zorzo going up the inside, not Adrian Gomez, apologies. Borges Zorzo gets the move done. Kaibach coming back at him, then down in towards turn 1. Kaibach was on the racing line. Borges Zorzo is going to go up the inside, and a great move. Here's a look back at the start as Borges Zorzo still fighting hard with Kaibach here then. Absolutely crucial to nail these parts of the lap. Borges Zorzo looking racy. He's pulled away a little bit, and that's allowed Gomez to come back on there. That's what happened to Kaibach. Oh, he got collected another car. So it wasn't the fact that he'd had a moment on, he's only collected another car, and that's Gomez having twitches and moments. You can just see how unhappy he was in the cockpit there on the replay. Got to get his head back down. Just looking at the usages of push to pass. 7 and 6s. Jason Bleissig hasn't used a single lap of push to pass at the moment as Gomez into the back of that of Kaibach here. And that's probably going to be a slam dunk penalty coming to Gomez's way. Not the start he's going to want. Here's Tyler Clausen, currently sat in P5, struggled to find his name on the list here. Currently sat in P5 is Tyler Clausch. In a bit of a world of his own at the moment. Oh, wiggle there. These Challenger League drivers just struggling a little bit with this car. And maybe the simulator. So far, we're seeing a few mistakes from drivers. Tyler Clausch is gaining, though, on the back of Nikolai in front. In fact, I believe that's Nikolai. No, it can't be. Oh, we're on board with David Verthrich now, sorry. Down the order. He's P9. What's happened to Tuan Kai Bui? He's down to the back of the grid, and everybody's got past him, so he's had a moment somewhere on his own. Unai Morotto then, youngster. There he is. A bit of a growth spurt since we last saw him. Oh, mistake, final corner, hard into the wall. That's going to overheat the tyres. That's going to hurt him. That is going to hurt him in this race. That's a real shame. Here's Demori then, who is P7 at the moment. And is trying to just put some pressure on the back of the cars in front. But he's got a what is that, 0.8 of a second, half a second to Mario Stanic, but he's got push to pass over them. Here is Stanic. We're on lap 6 of 24. Portsmouth now just using a bit of push to pass to try and get close to the race leader, who's over 4 seconds in the lead. So he's had a good lead here, has Taylens. As we've seen some live camera shots then in our racing lounge in Zurich, watching over the shoulders of the drivers. So the final corner now. They go down the start straight to start lap 7. So in an absolute crucial stage of the race here for some of these. Try and be able to just get a couple of places. Obviously points on offer. That is Jason Bleissig who's dropped down the order. Now this is a replay of Unai Morotto wide on the gravel in the wall. So shame for him, all on his own as well, under no pressure from behind. Just dropped that wheel into the wall, and that was it. Simon Demori currently sat P7, half a second off the back of Stanic. Stanic is with Klausch, and Klausch is on the Klausch is, oh, who was that? Off at turn 9 in the background. That was Simon Demori, I believe, was at the moment. We're on board with Mario Stanic. It was Demori then, who was trying to gain on Mario Stanic here and has dropped the car through turn 9. The rear stepped out and off he goes. So Simon Demori will have to go again. And that's a shame for him. Was looking strong early days, but he's dropped down the order now. It's only P11, so he's still got a chance. It's long enough to go to get some points in the bag. Stanic round the outside, taps the car. And I believe that was Tyler Klausch, it was, who now tumbles down a place. And yeah, David Verthrich will gain from that. Did Stanic leave enough room? That's what the race control is going to be looking at. Did Stanic leave enough room on the apex of the corner for Tyler Klausch? Well recovered to only lose the one place here. So very well done by Tyler Klausch. We're on lap 8 of 24, only a short race with a short lap here at Catalunya. Adrian Gomez on the back now of Walter Troninger once again. Driver still trying to keep push to pass in the locker. Roberto Miguez hasn't used a single lap at the moment. Here comes Adrian Gomez. Fastest lap the way of Salva Taylens then. Your race leader pumps in another fastest lap of the race. He's enjoying himself out there at the moment. What a day this is so far. Adrian Gomez then coming down the start straight in that slipstream of Troninger, using that push to pass, getting around the outside. Troninger's trying to fight back into turn 1. They go wheel to wheel, make a little bit of contact, both keep it there. Troninger holds it around the outside of 2 and is back up the inside at turn 3. Walter Troninger makes a move. Here comes Borja Zarzo attacking his Madrid compatriot of Adrian Gomez. Zarzo looking up the inside at turn 4 as they come towards 5 now. Gomez has the inside line. Hammer and tong, they've got that of Karbach in the background as well. And Adrian Gomez manages for now to hold on to that spot and stay ahead of Adrian Gomez there then. Great little fight. Well done, Walter Troninger. That was fantastic comeback. Zarzo there, just a little too much over the curb. Race leader sets another fastest lap of the race. Taylor's doing bits at the moment as a little wiggly on the rear of that for Adrian Gomez. Got to be cautious out there. Got to be cautious at all times. So struggled in the car at the moment is Adrian Gomez, but he's obviously going to try and, you know, pick it up from here. He wants to come away. He's what? He's P12 after the Unai Morotto spin and the Bui spin as well. So he's only a couple of places off the points, in which Walter Troninger and Simon de Moore, he's about 3.5 seconds, sorry, off the points at the moment. This is the man who's on that final points position place so far. It is that of Simon de Moore, who himself is trying to get past Andreas Koch. De Moore had that moment a couple of laps ago. We're on lap 11 of 24. So still time to go in this race. And he's looking back from Andreas in towards the final couple of corners. De Moore not close enough yet. What's the push to pass situation then? It's 6 usages for De Moore, 4 for Koch. So De Moore's got what he could use, but he's chosen not to use it this time around, possibly saving it for the back part of the race. That could be huge for him. As wheel to wheel again, Adrian Gomez and Walter Troninger around the outside. Troninger trying to hold it steady, now back up the inside at 2. And these two are having a great little scrap here. So Gomez cannot find a way through at the moment. And Walter Troninger driving a great defensive drive now to the outside of turn 5. Gomez is going to try, can't get the up and under. Got to be careful because Zarzo's there, Kaibach is there. And Roberto Miguez is approaching onto the back of them as well. We really need to be careful here. Does that of Gomez. Jorge Zarzo on board with now. Just see that front end of Gomez's car, just a little pointy on turn in. So clearly not feeling 100% comfortable in that car at the moment. Berthwich is used to push to pass. De Moore now uses one on Koch. And this is going to be interesting once again. Simon de Moore uses one. Borges, Zarzo, Troninger and Gomez all use one. Borges Zarzo goes to the outside line. On that then of Adrian Gomez round the outside of turn 1, taps him, hold on to it, that is well held, and now Kaibach has come to play as well. Can he get up the inside of 3? I don't think he did. No, he didn't. Backed out of that one, but Borges Zarzo got a little clip from Adrian Gomez and drifts round turn 1, flicks it into 2 and gets the place. That is well held from the Spaniard there, and that is absolutely fantastic from Borges Zarzo. I'd love to take another look at that because that was absolutely beautifully done. And fair play, Borges Zarzo. Now, Taylor's your leader, still has 7 usages of push to pass and is 10 seconds in the lead of this race. So the race, the Challenger League driver, doing bits at the moment, but this fight here for 11th, 12th, 13th and 14th is raging on. And it's Walter Troninger who is heading it with a fantastic defensive drive at the moment. So let's see what he can do as now Borges Zarzo is going to attack him. This is with Jamie Ego then. Eggio, probably Eggio. I'm probably not saying that correct. So apologies again. We'll learn the new drivers' names as we go. But for Jamie, he's running up in P8. He's on the back of Tyler Klausch here. Going well at the moment on his debut. There he is in the red simulator. How much usage of push to pass? He got 2 laps left of push to pass. So two usages left of push to pass. So he's got a bit in the tank. So here we come then, turn 14. Portsmouth has hit Gomez out at the start of the race, is what we're being told. I'm just looking for Portsmouth's name on the list. I can't. He's up in second place, so possibly under investigation. He's the one who tapped with Gomez. Did Tim Portsmouth then? So that'll be under investigation by race control, is what we're being told in our ear at this moment in time. Adrian Gomez here. Now trying to fight with that of Michael Kaibach, as Zarzo and Walter Troning are having a little battle just in front. So far, this has been absolutely fantastic racing. It's been really, really good. You have to say, the Challenger League, there's been a few more moves on here than in the Racer League. There's also been a few more incidents here than in the Racer League that obviously race control are going to be a little bit busier with. Coming to the final part of this race. Lap 15 of 24. Ten laps to go. And Kaibach now, as Gomez goes defensive. Kaibach having a look on the back of Gomez, who uses his final usage of push to pass. He's got no more left in the tank for the rest of the race, so he's got to go with no more push to pass. He's gone wide though, deep at turn one. Kaibach through, he's had his own little error on the curb. And Gomez loses out to Roberto Miguez as well. Doesn't look happy today. But for Michael Kaibach, up another place. Porsche Zorzo, by the way, has cleared Walter Troningus, was got past pretty quickly on Walter Troninger there. Here's Jamie then, looking over his shoulder in the Zurich Airport lounge. A wide entry into the corner from Tyler Klaus, the car in front, so maybe he just messed the entry of the corner up a little bit. Either way, decent race at the front. Obviously, Tim Portsmouth, we know he's under investigation, so it's going to be interesting to keep our eyes on the penalties there. Here is Jamie, back down in 8th place at the moment. Adrian Gomez has got past Jason Blysick and moves up another place. Not his race. When it's not your race, it's not your race. He's hopefully going to come to bounce back from that in November for sure. But Mario Stanic at the moment doing absolute bits. As the race leader now finally probably remembers that he's got push to pass. It's been so long since he's used it. 6 usages left for him. So that's going to be an interesting one to keep our eyes on there. Just how big the gap's going to be as Nikolai in P4 uses a push to pass. He's a couple of seconds off the back of Timothy Spearson. He's just in front of Mario Stanic, who we're on board with. Jamie then looking to the outside towards turn 1. Making a move on Tyler Klaus. Klaus breaks a lot later, goes a little deep at 1, but he can cover that off for turn 2. Jamie, big snap there, collects it together. Comes through turn 3 now. And can't make the move. Borges also tried to get onto the back of Andreas Koch for that final point scoring position. So for Jamie there, great little battle. He had a try, he had a look. He's only got 1 usage left though, as Jamie, over the 4 that Tyler Klaus has. So might just want to think of saving that usage of push to pass for a little bit. Fastest lap of the race. Salva Taylans. So Jamie once again then, currently sat in P8. He's got to try and do something to outclass Tyler here. He's been caught by Demori. He's got to be careful of Demori behind. No slouch himself, so a good little train of cars here. Roberto Miguez moves up ahead of Unai Morotto. Morotto is also out of push to pass. Jamie at the moment, just steadily trying to get back onto the rear of Tyler Klausch. He's just trying to put him under a bit of pressure. The problem is he's got to really save that push to pass lap. He has to. He can't keep that lap open. Can't waste it, sorry. Nikolai in P4 as well has one lap of push to pass. He's used it. There we go. So it's now or never for Jamie. He's going to try and make the move on Tyler Klausch. I don't think he's close enough at the moment. He looks to the inside, late braking maybe. Tyler Klausch gives him the space into one, into two. There you go. Can he keep a nose there? Simon Demori is going to get along the outside in towards turn 3. Here comes Simon Demori. Jamie though is going to still try and go on the inside of turn 3 as they head in towards turn 4 now. Jamie still having a look for the move. Simon Demori right around the outside at turn 4. He'll have the inside line now for turn 5, and Simon Demori inch perfect throughout that whole manoeuvre. He's not got it finished yet, as Jamie now has to yield that position. What a move, Simon Demori. Great bit of racing there. Between that of 7th, 8th and 9th. Fastest lap again for your race leader, a 14.4. And Simon Demori now is going to want to try and get a couple more places. Obviously, a bit of prize money at stake as well. Here comes Demori then. Around the final corner. He's got one usage less than Tyler Klausch has. And that could be huge come the end of this race. Down the straight he comes. Koch uses his last lap. He's a bit off the back of Jamie in P9 and 10. He's not really under much threat from Borges Arzo either. Good stuff, though, at the minute in this race. I tell you what, Tim's first lap incident with Gomez that's obviously going to be investigated. This has been a fantastic race for the race leader and Tim Portsmatter. Timothy Spearson's had a lonely P3. This is Mario Stanic we're on with, though, at the moment. P5 on the back of Nikolai, both with one usage left in this race. So when will they think about using it? Portsmatter and Spearson use one. Nikolai uses his last usage of push to pass now. So the man in P4 has used his final push to pass lap. Now he's got to defend from Stanic, who's got one left as well. That's the crucial thing. So here's Mario Stanic at the moment then. P5. A couple of tenths off the back of Nikolai in P4, but obviously Nikolai's just used his last push to pass lap. And the thing for these drivers as well, obviously, here in the studio it's only 20 past 7, but for the drivers it's 20 past 8, so it's getting later for them. Depending on what their day has been, tiredness could now be starting to kick in, although they're young chaps. So they should be fine, absolutely fit sim racing drivers. Should be absolutely A-OK to carry on. Borges Arzo now on the back of Andreas Koch. That is for the final point scoring position as well. David Verthrich using a lap of push to pass. Demori now is using one on Tyler Klausch. Borges Arzo has his last one done. Feels he's close enough to Koch to make the move into turn one. He's not. Isn't even able to have a look. So Zarzo's now got to rely on his own pace over Andreas to get the move done now. There is race control. Sat monitoring and watching on. In the Zurich Airport Lounge. As we're seeing this fantastic race unfold. Race leader uses his final push to pass. We're on the penultimate lap of the race, so he's absolutely flying. This is Adrian Gomez, who's got Kaibish and Bleising on the back of him. So he's still got some work to do. That is Jason Bleising, who's no longer going to be with them because he's made a mistake. Off he's gone. Day to forget for him. Stanic has got past Nikolai into P4. And here that is Salva Talens then. Can he make it? 2 wins for Madrid in 2. 1 for Sanchez in the Racer League. 1 for Talens here in the Challenger League. Unai Morotto down in P13 at the moment. Borges also still trying to fight on. He's got this lap and 1 more to go to fight on and get past that of Andreas Koch. Fought hard. It's been a great fight here. It's been an absolutely great fight. And Borges also then at the moment doing all he can. This is going to be an absolutely fantastic race end because there's battles happening up and down the circuit, no matter which way you look. Borges also is going to try then. He's got 1 last lap. But for Salva Talens at the minute, it is all going his way. What a race it's been here at Catalonia. We're back in a month's time, the 13th of November. Keep your eyes out on the Racing Unleashed socials, on TikTok, or on Instagram, on Twitter. Keep your eyes out on the social media for everything to come. But for Salva Talens, it is going to be race win number 1 of the season, and it is going to be race win number 1 here at Racing Unleashed. What a drive from him. It is a double Madrid win today. They will be very pleased with that. And he's barely broken into a sweat. Around the corner comes Tim Portsmatter. That'll be P2 on the road. Don't forget, all results today are provisional. Race control will be checking them over. Timothy Spearson will come across for a solid 3rd place in this one. Great to see from him. Mario Stanic, P4, he's happy with that. Nikolai will cross the line, P5. David Verthrich, P6. Tyler Klausch, P7. Simon Demori, P8. Jamie in P9. And then back to the Andreas Koch, Borges Zarzo fight. I think Koch held on to that P11. Borges Zarzo 12th. Walter Troininger 12th. Borges Zarzo 11th. Walter Troininger 12th. Unai Morotto 13th. Roberto Miguez P14. Adrian Gomez 15th. Michael Kaibach P16. Jason Bleisig 17th place, and P18. Down, bringing up the rear. As you can see, of Tuan Kai Bui then down in 18th place. As you saw there, good emotions at the Zurich Airport Lounge. What a race it's been, what a day it's been. And it goes the way of Madrid, really. They have to be the happier ones with this one. What a fantastic start to the season. In both Racer League and Challenger League, it was absolutely entertaining for both of them. And they go to fight another day. Absolutely great stuff then. hopefully this time we're going to be able to speak to our top three for the interviews for this time around. That is hopefully going to be the case, and that we can hear from our drivers on the podium, because that'd be absolutely lovely to get their opinions and see how they felt the race went and how the day's gone. Obviously, first one of the season now is in the bag. We're back in that 23rd of November, where the track will be announced for the 10th of November. So that should be an absolutely cracking event there. Thumbs up all around. It looks like the drivers have enjoyed that. One of our debutants there. Looks like he's thoroughly enjoyed that one. Join us, though, a week on Sunday, a week tomorrow, as it is that time for the third from last iRacing event, round 8 of the season at Suzuka. What a famous circuit to go at. There, though, is your final classification. Salva Taylor's P1 from Adrian Gomez. Tim Portsmatter. No, that was qualifying. Apologies. That was how they lined up in the qualifying. Salva Taylor, by the way, did win the race. He led. Likes to flag. Great race for him. Great opener to his campaign. So what a time for him on his debut. We're just waiting for word at the moment on interviews, and then we should be able to get underway with that. Fantastic day of action, though, here at the Circuit de Catalunya, Barcelona. It was a race of intrigue, really. Race 1 was a bit more about the strategy of the push to pass. That race 2 in the Challenge League was definitely a little more chaotic and a bit more action. The Race League, though, you could just see that bit of strategy trying to play out across the entirety of the race. Obviously, race winner Alejandro Sanchez in that Race League race, and Taylor's there in the Challenger League in that second race. We do have Spearson ready, though, for an interview, and I believe he is there. Spearson, can you hear us?
Yes, indeed. I can.
P3.
Can you hear me?
P3 in that race. Yes, can hear you loud and clear.
Great.
P3 in that race for you. Well, it was a bit of a quiet race, though, wasn't it?
To be quite honest, that's exactly what I wanted. The start was crucial. I gained 1 position off the line. I had a strategy. I wanted to position myself on the right-hand side ahead of the first corner. So I did. Everything else went perfectly. There was a collision in front of me. I gained 1 place, and then I just drove as good as I could. Only 1 invalidated lap. Just what I wanted.
Exactly what you wanted at the start of this one. Then that's the way to start a championship and to start your season.
Well, to be quite frank, there is already quite some boxes ticked. You know, for me, the original goal was no penalties, points, podiums. Now I've got those 3 steps off the ladder. Let's see what comes from here.
Let's see what comes from here. Obviously, we find out the circuit on the 13th of November. Bit of a surprise. We've got to wait in store for what comes next. But are you looking forward to the next challenge already?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I was not sure what would be possible, but this is in the bag. No one can take it away. The rest is a bonus. Wonderful.
Well, congratulations today on the P3. Enjoy that one, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks a lot. See you next time.
That was P3 there, then Timothy Spearson on the podium. We are just waiting for the next driver to come in for a quick chat. Very pleased with that. The boxes have been well and truly ticked. There, no penalties, no, a podium. All the boxes ticked for Spearson there in this first race of the afternoon. Just awaiting word and confirmation on the next driver. It is Portsmatter, who we can speak to now, and well, this is a guy I've been chatting with all week, and finally we get to actually speak. You said you hoped to speak to me on the interview. How was that for you?
Well, I mean, I still don't know what place I am. I don't know if I got a penalty or not. So, but either way, I'm very happy with the result.
Just talk us through what happened with yourself and Gomez at the start of the race.
Well, I mean, he was in front of me, and I had the feeling that he was too slow in the corner, so I bumped him in the rear. That's what happened. It was not intentional, and it wasn't on purpose that I spun him out of the race. So yeah.
Apart from that, it was a good race for yourself. It looks like you just got your head down and drove some good pace.
Yes, of course. I've practiced a lot for it, and I'm really, really happy with the result. So either way, I'm happy.
Happy indeed. Well, we have a month break now until we're back next. Hopefully we get to speak to you on the grid, on the podium then as well.
Thank you, Matthew, and see you.
What's the matter there? In 2P2 for him then. And we just await then for Madrid to get ready with our race winner. And we are just waiting for Madrid then, so I believe we can show you the final classifications. Yeah, there it is then. So it was Salva Tailans who took the race win. From Tim Portsmatter, Timothy Spearson was P3, Mario Stanic in 4th, with Nikolai in P5, David Verthrich P6, Tyler Klaus P7, Simon Demori was in 8th with Jamie in P9. Andreas Koch was rounding out the top 10 from Borges Orzo, Walter Troninger from Unai Morotto, Miguez Gomez, Kai Bach-Bleisig and Tuan Kai rounding out the top 18 there then. So as we wait for Madrid and prepare for Madrid to be ready to go here. What a day of racing it has been at Racing Unleashed. It was absolutely fantastic and really good to watch throughout this week's worth of racing. Like we said, if you are wanting more action, we're back live on the Racing Unleashed YouTube and Twitch channel next week for the iRacing event, round 8 of the season at Suzuka. If you want to be a part of that, make sure you head over to apexracingleague.com and get yourself registered and signed up. Join the Discord of Racing Unleashed as well to be a part of the next event. And we'll be back in a month's time, around the 23rd, I believe, of November for the next round of the season. Track unknown. We'll find out on the 13th of November where the track will be. And this is going to provide us to have some great entertaining races. And as we're still just awaiting confirmation on the Madrid scenes at the moment, whether they're ready for their interviews or not. Either way, P3 very happy with that. Spearson was very happy with that one. Portsmouth obviously with that penalty potentially hanging over him. Race controller going to be looking at that one and seeing whether or not it is a penalty. It was fantastic here in the studio. It was absolutely great to watch and great to bring to you as well. We have your race winner ready to speak to, so we can hear you, and just talk us through that. That was a great race win.
Yeah, I was really happy with the result. I was expecting a bit more fight with Adrian, but he got a problem in the first lap, so that was a bit unfortunate. But yeah, I'm really happy. I was happy with I think I could have done a little bit better on my quali lap, but then I was quite happy with the pace overall. So yeah, it's been a good first round, and hopefully we can keep doing results like this for the rest of the season.
And it's been good for Madrid as well, hasn't it? Because not only yourself, but Sanchez on the podium and the race winner as well. The Madrid lounge must be really happy right now.
Yeah, it's been a great day for us here in Madrid because Alejandro got the first win of the season as well in the Racer League. So yeah, we're really happy. I guess we have to celebrate now after the event. So yeah, we're really happy.
Good to see you. Obviously, a new driver at Racing Unleashed on the grid. What is it like in them simulators? Obviously, a little different experience, possibly compared to what you're used to.
Yeah, I was used to static simulators for my whole life, actually, because I just did one event with this kind of dynamic simulator. So it's been a process to adapt myself to driving like this. But at the end, you get used to it and you just drive and you're not thinking about the moment. You're just thinking about your technique, the lines and everything. So at the end, you just adapt yourself to it.
Tyler, I've just been told that can we try and get Alejandro in front of the camera as well, if possible, at the moment. Just been told in our ears to try and get him onto the screen.
Of course.
Yep.
Ven aquí.
Hopefully Alejandro comes and joins us. Obviously a big day for you two as well, being part of the Apex Racing team. That's a huge result for both of you in that one.
Yeah, for us as a team, it's a great result as well. So yeah, then, as I said before, we need to celebrate a little bit after the event. Una juca.
Can we just give the headset to Alejandro so we can just ask Alejandro a question or two? Salva, congratulations though on today.
Thank you very much. Toma, coge las cascos. Vale, vale. Ponte aquí.
Pues están calentitos, ¿eh?
Alejandro, it's been a while since we spoke to you on the podium, but it was a great race win in that first one. Obviously, you and Speedle have gone toe-to-toe so many times now, and you managed to have the upper hand today.
Yeah, it was quite an interesting race. Really happy that I managed to win. I thought he had one more push to pass than he actually did. So in the end, it was just playing the long game and just saving the push to pass for late in the race, because I knew if I had the push to pass and draft, he just couldn't do anything if he just didn't have any push to passes, obviously. And I think I put myself in first with 3 laps to go or 2 laps to go or something like that. And it was just a matter of staying there. Obviously, I didn't have any off tracks to spare, so I was quite cautious as well with the driving. But in the end, it played out really well for us, and we managed to win. So really happy.
Really happy for yourself. Like I said to Salva there, great for the Madrid Lounge, great for you two to get the first wins of the season, and great that obviously you can all celebrate together.
Yeah, that's the plan for tonight. So we'll enjoy the fruits of our labor, and just enjoy the rest of the evening.
Well, Alejandro, congratulations on the Racer League race win earlier on tonight, and Salva as well, congratulations on the Challenge League race win. Enjoy that one, and we'll see you in the next event.
Thank you very much. See you in the next event. Hopefully in the same position.
Hopefully so then, for Alejandro Sanchez and Salva Talens there then. 2 race wins for the Madrid Lounge, 2 race wins for the Apex Racing team. You saw there with their shirts on. They are very, very pleased and will be absolutely delighted to get them race wins under their belt. What a day of action it has been. Race Control will now carefully go through every piece of information, and we'll make sure the right decisions are there or thereabouts, and that they will be posted. If you want to check out the full results, obviously keep your eyes on our social media, Racing Unleashed on Instagram and Twitter for the full classification then. But what an event it has been today. It has been 2 good races. The Racer League started with Alejandro Sanchez, and it ended in the Challenger League with Salva Talens then, who has taken the 2 race wins. We'll be back in a week on Sunday for the iRacing Round 8 event, and we'll be back on the 23rd of November for Challenge 2 here on Assetto Corsa. Goodbye.